Welcome to Thrones and Scones. It's your weekday morning podcast where we talk about Game of Thrones over breakfast, sometimes on the John. Which one of us is currently on the toilet? You'll never know. Today, on this Monday, we are hitting Season 5, Episode 6, Unbowed, Unbent, Unbroken, and Mini Zucchini Cheddar. You couldn't have had an unscone today, Hans?
No. Period.
We should have just not had a scone. Unbowed, unbent, unbroken, unsconed. And somebody had like some sort of Danish. Another day. Did I tell you guys that I took to the power of the radio Facebook page for my show and asked? I decided to say, you know what? I want to gauge the temperature of the room here. And I asked what everybody's favorite breakfast pastry was. Took an official poll. And just opened it up. Anyone could submit. It wasn't like a set list of things. But I did list a few examples. And I made sure to include scones as an example. And do you know how many votes that it got? Out of roughly 70.
Oh, I'm assuming that would be your vote because you mentioned it. So it got one.
I voted for muffin.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
I'm guessing 5.
It got 1 vote.
You son of a bitch.
And technically it didn't even really get a vote because the only person who said the word scone also said another thing. So technically it only got half of a vote.
Shit.
I don't understand. I think people are underrating the deliciousness of scones.
I don't think that they're even trying them because, like I've made very clear, it's basically like a breakfast cookie. Why would you not want this?
Yeah. Well, it's so I will say it must probably be like they're going to, I think the worst ones I've had this far from like Starbucks. Panera's doing them okay, but like they're going out and they're getting these mass market ones. But then all the ones I've made, first of all, as far as baked goods go, they're not that hard to make.
No.
Right.
And all the ones that I have made, and I've gone for some odd choices, are really good.
And
so
I think that's the other thing I've realized about scones in our dedication is that there's an obscene amount of different flavors and textures that you can add to make. I mean, even like blueberry. Like I had a lemon blueberry muffin that was probably with like lemon curd in it. Shut up. That was so good.
now, was that a slip of the tongue or was it a muffin?
No, it was muffin.
Oh, it was a muffin.
No, it was okay. I'm just fucking with you. I'm not gonna buy I can't eat a muffin now that I know.
Buy a muffin.
Fuck muffins. Fucking bastard voting for a muffin.
I'm sorry. So here's the thing. It was a close. I almost didn't vote for muffin. Now, granted, my second choice was a Danish, not a scone.
Jesus
but still.
Christ.
Dear Lord.
So
Don't mess with the Danish.
What won?
What Danish?
Yeah, no. Out of all the 70 votes, like what was
Donut one.
donut? Yeah, I figured donut would.
To be fair, I combined everything that was a donut because I wasn't going to write out a different thing for Long John, glazed donut, and thing. And so had I actually differentiated, just the word donut might have still won, but as of right now, it was a landslide victory.
Are you a donut fan?
I like donuts. I like them less as I age because I
agree.
I don't want one donut. I want 7 donuts, and they're too sweet. So it's just like, just give me something a little bit more substantial and a little bit less sweet, and I'll feel overall better about myself.
Like a scone.
Yeah, a scone.
Like a scone, like a good little scone, or a muffin, or a Danish.
When do you think you noticed like that you no longer wanted that super sweet thing for breakfast?
Now, honestly,
College?
I've never been a super sweet breakfast person. Like I didn't really, my period in life of doing those sugary cereals was probably only a couple years. And then I pretty much just transitioned away from cereal. And now I mess with like them honey bunches of oats and stuff.
So
Things
good.
are like a little off sweet, I appreciate that. But as far as moving away from like I honestly think it was when I started drinking.
You balance calories, yeah.
Yeah, well, when I turned like 21, then it's like, okay, you start to get into this like level of alcohol and stuff, and I started really liking gin, and that gave me an appreciation for like more bitter flavors. And so I don't think that necessarily I need everything to be so laced in sugar. So kids, if your parents are yelling at you for eating too much sugar,
Drink
just pick
alcohol.
up drinking.
Just try gin.
Just
Try gin, and it'll change your life.
So while we're on the topic, what is your favorite breakfast cereal?
My favorite breakfast cereal?
Yeah.
I got to pick one. Can we do top 3?
Top 3, sure.
Top 3, go.
I'll get you top 3. Honey Bunches of Oats with strawberries.
Okay.
This is my favorite blend of that. I will throw a more sugary one in the mix with peanut butter Captain Crunch.
All right,
Good.
all right.
Forgot all about that
And-
one. Good call.
And then I will go ahead and cast my final scone, final vote, slip of the tongue. Scone Crisp. We can make it. We can make $1 million. I'll cast my final vote for Honey Nut Cheerios.
Okay. What? So when you say the Honey Bunches of Oats with
Delicious.
strawberries, is it come like that, or are you adding strawberries to the Honey Bunch?
Comes like that.
They're dried
does.
strawberries.
So not
yeah.
only does it have dried strawberries in it, but like the clusters have like strawberry something in them too.
Like yogurt or something?
Yeah, it's got a good little burst of flavor to it.
Interesting. I have not had those.
So I agree. I think so.
Yeah.
Honey Nut Cheerios, top cereal for me ever. Love it. It's
quality.
so good. And then, so it's funny you say the whole peanut butter Captain Crunch. Yes, I would say that's delicious. I'm actually going to rank Kix above it. I love Kix.
Regular Kicks.
Regular Kix.
Okay.
'Cause that, again, not super sweet. And then for my sweet, it would be the Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely on the sweet side.
I think that the Cinnamon Toast Crunch is something I never appreciated because I for all the sweet cereals, I cannot stomach drinking the milk.
Oh, me
and I
either.
think that's such a part of the Cinnamon Toast Crunch experience for a lot of people.
Now, I actually put an ice cube in my milk, in my cereal, so that it remains cold.
Just
Yeah.
every time we have a connection, you just have to ruin
Yep,
it.
told you. It's something about cold milk. It's critical.
It's smart. It just sounds so odd.
It's broken. But now
I just eat mine. I just eat mine in the fridge. I'm like
frosted
Hans's
bowl
cat.
and
I like to
spoon.
spend a lot of time in the fridge. Hans, what are your favorite cereals?
All right, let me hit you with it. Cheerios, number 1.
Of course.
Plain
Wait,
Cheerios.
regular Cheerios?
Yeah, I'm not into that honey nut garbage.
Okay. All right.
I do agree on number 2, Kix. It's a good cereal.
delicious.
And number 3,
If you say Kellogg, like some like brand cereal, get the fuck off of this podcast.
no, I think I just have to say plain Cheerios. Those are the only 2 cereals that I'll eat.
I was going to say you vote twice for plain Cheerios.
Cheerios and Kix. I don't even have a third. I guess if I had to choose a third, I'm reaching though. That's like going back probably years if I've had anything else. When I was a kid, I liked Golden Grahams, but I haven't had them in so long.
I don't even remember that cereal.
I think just probably like a standard granola would be my third pick.
Okay.
Granola. I can give
So-
a granola.
Because we've just established great cereals. What about what
Yeah.
is the worst cereal you've ever had?
Oh my gosh.
Mine's easy. I'm sorry. Lucky Charms is the most disgusting thing ever made. Those little marshmallow things, that is nasty fucking shit.
Yeah, there's something as well about like the first time you eat them without milk that just changes your life and your worldview. Not in a great way necessarily. I did not appreciate the texture of what most certainly can't be considered food.
Yeah, they are. I will back up the fact that Lucky Charms are absolutely disgusting. I was gonna say Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That shit's nasty.
Oh, I love cinnamon. I just
not
love
good.
cinnamon, so yeah.
It just wrecks the milk. It's so gross.
I think I was burned as well, like a lot of the times as kids, or as a kid. I was just one
So
once.
many children.
Because like all the cereals that my family liked, I did not care for. I think that's why I got out of cereal. Like my brother loved Cookie Crisp, not on board with Cookie Crisp.
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
My dad loved Pops, not on board with Pops
Did that
cereal.
have the what is it, like a frog on it with a hat or something?
No, that's Sugar Smacks.
Oh, Jesus
Which
Christ.
I messed with Sugar Smacks. Pops looked like they're just like giant yellow pieces of corn, but like they're like penny sized probably. They're pretty big.
okay.
Oh shit!
I-
You just
Remember?
No. But I changed my third answer
Oh,
because you reminded me of a cereal that I do like, honeycomb.
I was gonna say, if you say honeycomb,
Ah.
I would give that to my fourth. Yes, yeah, honeycomb's delicious.
honeycomb's all right. I haven't had that in a long time. I don't feel like I haven't even seen it.
Yeah, I haven't had it in a long time.
time.
I'm gonna put it on my third, but
Yeah. Do you know what I do appreciate right now? We're living in the golden age. Tricks are once again shapes.
Oh yeah, instead of being just the balls.
I don't like what Trix does to the cereal.
I don't
or
like
to the milk
tricks in
either.
general, but that's okay.
Nor Fruit
Now-
Loops.
Yeah. Now, with my adulthood encroaching and being fully here now, I have also found that it not only helps the sweeter cereals like tone back and I can appreciate them a little bit more, but it also just seems like the right amount of sweetness for the other cereals is instead of any sort of like, I was always a 1% kid.
Yeah.
Because kids don't have a say in what kind of milk they like.
Yeah.
You taste what you are given and you learn to like it.
Yeah.
But 1%, 2%, whatever. I have instead just switched to full-on unsweetened almond milk, which is like perfect in cereal. It doesn't get in the way. It's not quite water. Like that's my skim milk problem. Is it's just
I would
something
agree.
about it just doesn't mess with me. But like this unsweetened almond milk, just it knows. It's a generous lover. It knows when to be present. It knows when I'm done, and then it gets out my way.
So I was into the almond milk for a while, and it agreed. The unsweetened, everything else that they try to do with almond milk is just way too sweet, in my opinion.
For sure. Oh God, yeah.
But I was drinking it for a long time, and then all of a sudden I left my almond milk in the glass for like a little bit longer than you're supposed to, I guess. And I went to go pour it out, and it wasn't that the milk itself was that gross, but I went to go pour it out, and the cup was just stained with like whatever it was, and I never got it clean. It would not come off.
Oh,
and then I'm
no,
like,
don't tell me
wait a
that.
minute,
no.
wait a minute, this is going into my body. like that cup sat there for maybe like an hour. It wasn't like days.
Holy crap!
And I'm like, and that milk just sits in, what is that doing to my stomach lining?
Well, just bleaching it. It's the hot trend right now.
So almond milk. Did you ever have like a latte with almond milk?
Yeah, see that is, the lattes and stuff. I still spring for the full fat milk.
Yeah. No, you need that stretch for that body.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Yeah, because I've tried like almond milk. I've tried the coconut milk. We tried that just for non-dairy, and all of that just adds too much flavor to the coffee and ruins it.
Yeah, oat milk is the big thing now. That's the new one.
Goat milk?
You guys, oat,
Oh.
OAT.
Oh, from like
I have.
I haven't had it yet either. I was gonna try it because I've been hearing so much about it online, and they finally had it at the grocery store near me. But like, I think this thing of almond milk was like $2 something, and the oat milk was like $6.
Yeah.
Yikes. Yeah, I
Just
just
can't be
like-
bothered.
I just after like the fear of the almond milk, regular milk just being I've just gone to soy milk. Grow myself a good pair of beeves.
Yeah, get that sweet estrogen.
They're looking great, by the way.
Thanks.
Yeah. I didn't want to say anything until I knew for sure, but now.
Any day now. Gonna get to a C.
Oh. Also with the almond milk, its shelf life is like triple what normal milk is, which
Yeah.
is appreciated.
It is because I can't
because-
get through. We just don't use milk enough to get through like a gallon for sure. So then we buy the half gallon because anything less is nonsense. Because it's like
Oh, I know.
it's either like $2 for a solo like 8 ounces, or $2 for like the 24 ounces, or $2 for the half gallon. So what's the point?
Yeah. Buy the half gallon.
It's not wasting. That's the
Suffer
point.
through it, I guess.
Yeah, we do organic milk. One, because organic milk has a shelf life that's even more ridiculous now. I mean, like it'll be like a month and a half, and then you don't have to worry about it. So if you don't feel like having milk that week, you don't drink it. You don't worry about it.
There you go. It's appreciated. The world we live in.
I know.
A toast.
A toast.
So I just want to cycle back here real quick. If you guys had to vote for a pastry besides scones in the breakfast pastry game here, where would you vote?
Mini
I've already
scones.
established. No. If it has the word
Mini
scone in
scone.
it, you're doing this game wrong.
You said pastry?
Like a breakfast pastry. So muffins, danishes, croissants, scones, which are not a
easy.
viable option for you. Flips is something that people submitted a lot when I was doing this online, which is apparently a thing that Casey's does. And it just
fuck
sounds like
is that?
puff pastry with fruit filling.
What about like a just a bagel? Or is that not considered?
Bagel is acceptable.
Yeah. I mean, I would probably say, if I was going true baked pastry, I would say a chocolate croissant.
Yes. Wait, like you mean the one that's filled with chocolate, right?
Yeah, that has like.
Because I've seen chocolate batter.
Oh no
croissants before.
I'm
That's
talking
no
about
good.
like the French pastry, which is like a croissant with like 2 dark chocolate bars in the middle of it.
Yes.
Oh fuck! And when that's warm, there's nothing better.
I agree wholeheartedly, friend.
And croissants are just great, right? When they're warm, like you don't need anything on them. There's like butter and air and croissant.
Boom.
Boom. Hans was like, I don't like food. Let me talk about how about bread? Can I give bread an option?
I'll allow you to vote for bread.
Oh, I think I'd have to go. I feel like I'm missing something obvious here.
It's called liking food, I know.
I'll probably just have to go bagel, if it's
Bagel's
accepted.
fair. Yeah, it's accepted. That was not an unpopular choice when we did this.
I don't know
Bagel-
if that qualifies as a pastry, though.
I know, that's
in
where
my
I struggled
mind.
with it.
Yeah,
But
it might not, but it's our game. We can make whatever rules we want.
sure.
So now, when you reach for bagels, are you doing plain bagels and then you just spread whatever? Tell me your bagel goals.
Yeah, for sure. So I do them a couple different ways. Plain bagel. If I can toast it, I'm doing
Toast.
plain bagel, regular cream cheese. If I can't
Okay.
toast the bagel, if I'm just raw dogging the bagel, I do bagel strawberry cream cheese.
Okay.
Very good.
Oh.
I also like everything bagels
Me
with
too.
regular cream cheese,
Sure.
toasted or untoasted. That's fine. Those are probably my top 3.
Jeremy,
Bagel
me, daddy.
Yeah, so my favorite bagel, if I don't have like a everything bagel, I like plain bagels, but my favorite is a blueberry bagel. I love blueberry bagels. And I
Hell yeah.
just want toasted and the ever bit of hint of like a little bit of butter. Just a little bit of butter on it.
All right.
I'm getting closer to you by the moment, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Yes, blueberry bagels are great. Cinnamon raisin bagels also great. Toast it and just a little bit of butter. Honey butter if you're feeling
Yeah,
crazy.
if
But
you're
keep
feeling
that
crazy.
dense-ass cream cheese away from my
Yeah.
breakfast.
So, I will say on the everything bagel, sometimes when you're toasting the everything bagel, they'll like if they have a little garlic or sesame or something on the outside,
Yeah.
sometimes they can get a little burnt,
Yes.
Yeah.
and it gets a little
A little
raw
bitter.
tasting.
Gets a little
Yeah.
bitter.
That's not always my favorite, but so you got to be careful with those ones.
But what I
Feel
don't like
Gotta
is the
make sure your
super
toaster's
sweet.
on bagel.
You know how like they do like French toast and all this other bullshit bagels that has like sugar and stuffed inside of them? I don't like any of
Love
that
'em.
at all.
Big fan.
It's not my thing.
Big fan. We had a Einstein's Bagels at Western when I went to college, and Einstein's Bagels, not too shabby of an establishment. They're doing things all right over there. Have a great autumn roast coffee. Would highly recommend. But they also do a number of things with bagels, as you might imagine. They've got some great ones. One of my favorite things to do was blueberry bagel with peanut butter and jelly.
Oh yeah, I was just about to bring that up. Nice.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. What
but
kind
the
of
other
jelly
thing-
though?
Grape jelly.
Oh god, you get me, cause fuck all the other jellies.
If somebody says peanut butter and jelly,
They mean grape.
you are referring to grape jelly.
If you put fucking
Absolutely
strawberry
not.
jelly on my,
You're allowed to make strawberry jelly, but you have to specify. You have to say, I like a strawberry PB&J. You can't say peanut butter and jelly and assume that the default is strawberry because you're wrong.
we went to this restaurant that did a PB&J, and it was brie cheese, peanut butter, and cherry jam, and I should have thrown it in the trash. It was delicious.
Why did you
It's like-
order that? Is the real question.
No. So we did like a chef tasting of it. So it was like the
Mm-hmm.
one of the first courses or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was delicious. But like the idea that you're serving me cherry when you could make homemade grape, no.
I went to a place the other day and I was like, "Oh, I'll do a chef tasting, please." And they're like, "This is McDonald's," and I was like, "Oh yes, of course.
Yes.
That's where my budget's at. I'll take a Shamrock Shake. Thanks so much for bringing them back. They're good again this year, by the way. They've been bad for a couple years. They're solid again.
How did they improve them?
They just tasted like, and I'm sure this is just a store by store thing, but like the last couple of years, it was just like it was so obvious that it was just like milkshake with syrup in it. Like you could just taste
Like it was
syrup. You could
separated.
see the lines.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a very solid green shake, and it was delicious.
Okay. I'm going to have to
It's
have one
delicious, you'd
because I've never
expect, I
had one
suppose.
and I like mint. So it sounds, yeah.
It's really I mean, I guess if you don't have the mist, the hilarious thing is Culver's has a mint milkshake year round. That is arguably 4 times better and green, but it's just like,
But it just doesn't have the
loses
allure?
so much. Yeah, I feel wrong going and ordering it, so I don't. I don't, which is a
I
bummer.
love how Hans tilted the camera up so we could watch the ceiling for a little bit.
I was liking it was a good ceiling. I've never commented on your ceiling before. I like it.
Oh, thanks.
That light is nice.
Just to double back this Einstein's bagels real quick. If I wasn't doing that PB&J bagel, sometimes if I was feeling more savory, maybe a little lunch, they do bagel pizzas, pizza bagels,
Oh,
as you
holy
call
crap.
it, where
Yeah.
they'll take any bagel you want and build pizza on it. Now, of course, people just go plain, sometimes whole wheat. I did Asiago once. That was a great choice. But I was like, would they really do it with any? So I walked up and I was like, I'll do a pizza bagel, please. And they're like, what kind of bagel? And I said, chocolate chip. And the woman didn't even blink. She was like, yep, got it. And so it came out, and it was about as good as you'd imagine.
I bet you they watched it like, look at that asshole. He's going to choke. Oh,
Yeah, so it was rough. But yeah. So, Thrones Scones, of course, we reserve 50% of our time for the Thrones portion. Hans, today we've got Season 5, Episode 6, Unbowed, Unbent, Unbroken. What do you think?
It was okay.
And we'll be back tomorrow with some more for you. ThronesandScones.com if you want the links to all of the places you can find us. And, of course, we'll hit Episode 7 tomorrow. Also, did we have a scone today?
Did we? Oh yeah, it was my mini.
it was your scone, right?
my mini zucchini cheddar, right?
Yeah, these were homemade.
Those are good.
Yeah. Well done to Jenna. Well done. You down with GOT?
Yeah, you know
Yeah,
me.
you know me.
Flawless.
I love it. I was actually gonna like text one of you guys and be like, should we just not talk Thrones?
Well, it's funny you were thinking that at the time. I'm like, this is going well. Yeah.
In my head, I was like, well, we'll just cut it and we'll do it. And then I looked down and it's like 23 minutes. And I was like, well, we're in it now.
But I actually liked this episode. That's what I was pissed off about.
Yeah, season 6 is just okay anyway. So, or episode
Season
6, I
5.
mean.
Yeah. So, I mean, just to hit real quick, notable stuff you want to touch on?
Well, just the whole sand snakes, right? The daughters. Like, that was...
I think they're
that,
fucking boring.
And how convenient that they make their move at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah.
I wrote down Jabron,
Dude,
which
they're
is
just-
my new name
they're
for
just
Jamie and
super
Braun.
hot.
You think?
You don't vote on hotness for them?
I in the next episode.
Oh,
I
yeah,
vote on
totally.
Hotness for
Oh, my
one of
God.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we could watch that episode multiple times. Yeah, everything
But
else was...
Anyway, I was actually on a website the other day, and it was ranking the
Called
Game
Pornhub.
of Thrones. Yeah. A comment within one of the videos was ranking the Game of Thrones seasons. And they had like every season had all this stuff that they were talking about, like, you know, how cool this one part was, like how cool this part was. And then season 5 was actually listed as the worst season. And all it said, everyone else had these long paragraphs. All it said is the one or the one with Dorne, I think.
See, the problem, this isn't even the bad part of Dorne. I feel like Dorne is worse when it's just like dealing with Ilaria and whatnot later on down the road.
Yeah.
Like, I understand that it's not the most exciting thing, but I still think the stuff happening in Dorne is better than the stuff happening like in Karth
Oh, God, yeah.
and stuff like, and that got shit on way less than I've ever heard anyone talk about Dorne. So
That's true. Yeah.
Karth was rough. It was just... Was it because Dany wasn't interesting in Karth, right? Dany was kind of
Yeah.
like... Meh, pity me. I lost my dragons because I'm a bad mom. I found my dragons. I'm a better mom. Oh, there's Drogo. Cool.
Hey, being a parent's hard, Jeremy. Someday maybe you'll find
Someday
out.
I'll figure that out.
Who knows?
Yeah. But anyway, notable moments for me. Tyrion and Jorah get captured by the slavers.
The best quote in the episode.
What's
The
that?
dwarf lives until we find a cock merchant.
I forgot that. That was good.
I guess we learned that Tyrion's just got like a massive dong apparently.
He's
Not a
doing
dwarf?
all right.
He says it's going to be and then he goes, well, how are they going to know it's from a dwarf? And the guy goes, well, it's going to be a dwarf-sized cock. And he goes, guess again. Kudos, man. But
Yeah.
the High Sparrow interviews / interrogates Loras and then subsequently Queen Marjorie, basically.
Yes. And both of them are arrested on charges of buggery and perjury.
Buggery and perjury. And then Sansa and Ramsay have a nice little wedding.
Yay.
Yay.
Well, it is a beautiful wedding.
Yeah,
Actually.
people get married at night. Kind of a weird
Perfect snowfall.
weird outside night wedding
You got to do what you got to do.
in the winter.
And then, Theon gets to watch.
A little,
Reek, sorry.
little rapey. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say
A lot rapey.
lot rapey.
A lot rapey.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sansa.
And Reek, what do you think of Reek's character? Like, does he annoy you as much as he annoys me?
I like the character of Reek because it makes me ask that question. Because it should be pretty easy that it's just like, oh, I don't like him, and it's like, oh, or like the end gets what's coming to him. But as I've said from like day one, there's a little twinge of a minge in the back that says, oh, I kind of feel bad
minge?
for him in my ginger minge. And I think that it's done really well.
Oh, yeah, no.
To an extent that it's like, I never am going to like Reek or Theon beyond this, if that is a thing. But it's making me second guess myself. So I think it's a really cool character to tell some stories.
I just feel like every time I see him, it's a matter of seconds he's crying.
Yeah. My big problem with Reek is they can't decide. Like when they seem to make a move on developing him to make a decision, they change it every single time.
Yeah.
Like in the next episode, we get a moment where he's seemingly been broken down and is going to help, and then he doesn't. And then in the future, same thing. And then he does. Oh, and he's making this whole big turnaround. And then he leaves his sister. Like, and then he's like, "Well, we're gonna go get her now." Like, it's just like, just make up your mind about what you want to do with Reek, and have him die if you want. Like, whatever. Just
Yeah, and
back
the
and
sister Yara, right?
yeah.
Yeah, she is. I've enjoyed her character. I enjoyed that a lot. So, and it was more of an interesting story when she was like, when they were running together and they were going to do something, and then to watch that kind of fall apart again with him jump. Yeah, so we don't need to just spoil too much. So we'll get there. So.
Arya also finds the creepiest room in existence in this episode.
Yes.
Just a towering room of faces. That is all.
You're getting a little fast and loose with that countdown.
You want a round two?
It's almost
No,
like you
it's fine.
lubed it up. Lubed it up. So much moisture. It's kind of crisp at the end.
Crispa.
I've never heard of anyone being annoyed by the word crisp.
Yeah, she also doesn't like the word poo-poo, but
Poo poo. What
she's
about just one poo?
She's okay with one poo.
Speaking of poop, it is one of those things when people talk about their babies pooping, like they come up with some of the most creative names of like, well, you know, they passed a little brown. I'm like, what? You mean they poop? whoa! We don't say that. I'm like,
We do not use that word.
They shatted everywhere. I always think it's interesting when people talk about like, and like we obviously have a dog, and I don't know why that's obvious, so never mind. But like when you're talking, like Emily and I were like, oh, did he poop outside? And my mom's like, well, he dirtied, and I'm like, sweet Jesus, Mom, like what
That
the
sounds
fuck?
way worse.
It sounds worse, right? He dirtied the world. He left it worse than what it was. Blemished the ground. Little poop jokes, yeah.
I feel like actually, like I've had vets that don't want to use the word poop as well.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I guess something that no one does.
Yeah, it's kind of like we can't actually speak.
Whoa! Don't talk about shitting. I mean, that's horrible.
Maybe these are all like slightly older people back when the day, you know, girls didn't fart.
Oh yeah.
People didn't have buttholes.
The anus was something that was not talked about.
Yeah.
God help you if you bring up the perineum. They're like, whoa. How dare you talk about that unspoken landing?
I feel like we're still not there. You can not talk about the perineum.
Perineum.
It's okay.
Perineum is off topic.
Welcome to Perineum and